What is going on, everybody? Dave here, Hidden Freedom, and we got another video for you today. On today's video, I'm going to talk about NUSI and the reason why I'm reducing the allocation for NUSI and going into more JEPI and more DIVO. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. The information expressed in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. This information is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. There's still time left to get the M1 bonus of 50 bucks. If you open an account, deposit 100 bucks, you get 50 bucks, I get 50 bucks. It's a win-win situation and it goes till the end of the year. Just use my referral link down the first pinned comment or the description. So I've been talking about NUSI for quite a few months now, and talking about, showing in my portfolio and stuff, and having like a $200,000 allocation to NUSI. And NUSI was one of the best things since sliced bread. Don't get me wrong, it's got its flaws as well, and we're going to talk about a little bit of that stuff today. But if you want a little bit more in-depth video on NUSI, I did, and more in-depth video on NUSI, and you look at it up here. I'm not going to talk real in-depth about NUSI in this video. I'm going to talk about the reason why I'm reducing the allocation and going into a couple other of my income ETF favorites as well. So, all right, here, let's go and look at the portfolio. Okay, we're looking at the portfolio here, and if you're not aware, I'm looking to retire here in early 2022, so about 120 days left according to my spreadsheet here. And obviously the income ETFs like NUSI, JEPI, QLD, XYLD, and did I say DIVO and JEPI? I'm not really sure if I did or not, but those are income ETFs and those are helping me get to my goal, along with a bunch of individual positions as well, which you can see right here. These are all of my individual positions. And then I got these down here as well. I will be building out SCHD as time goes on. So let's talk about NUSI, let's talk about JEPI, and let's talk about DIVO as well. So let's go ahead and look at the current portfolio at this time. Here is all those positions that we've kind of just looked at on the front page there. By the way, this spreadsheet is available if you're interested in it. And there is a promo code going until the end of December, so December 31st, and you can get a discount code if you want to purchase the spreadsheet. So, all right, here is all the individual positions. We got CHD at the top, which I'll continue to build out. And then we got the income ETFs down here. We got DIVO, JEPI, NUSI, QLD, and XYLD. And then we got NUSI here being 151,000. It's actually come down a little bit over the last, I don't know, week or two. It was up to a little over $155,000 at one point. All right, well, let me see. Actually, yeah, that is the third biggest. Normally I just need to sort these things, so let's see where that stands if we sort them. It's still the third biggest at this point. JEPI and DIVO being larger than NUSI. But I originally had plans to build out NUSI a lot more than JEPI and a lot more than DIVO. So looking at the different tab here, we can kind of see what the allocation, what my target allocations are for those income ETFs. And this is what I want things to look like when I fire next year in April of 2022 and put my permanent sick leave notice in, or whatever you want to call it, permanent leave, termination status. So I'm the governor. Anyway, so NUSI is, the target is $155,000. That's reduced from last several months when I've been talking about it and talking about this page here from roughly about $200,000, I think, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. And then I increased the DIVO up to $175,000, and I increased the JEPI up to $210,000. So that's a pretty substantial decrease on NUSI, and NUSI is still, it's still a great ETF. And look at that there, it's still not showing any yield there. I think the yield's about 7.8%, so we'll just manually put it in for now. Just to kind of fill in these numbers here, and because those are pulling from FinViz. But anyways, that's roughly about what the return is on it right now. So obviously going into DIVO will actually reduce the income slightly, but JEPI's got it roughly about the same. So we're not reducing a lot out of NUSI from where the target originally was, 200,000. So that's roughly about what, $45,000, $50,000 we're going to reduce it. And the reason why I'm going to reduce it is simply because NUSI, if you're not aware, NUSI is, it's a got a protected put and also sells covered calls. against the NDX, and then, you know, like I said, it's got protective puts there that they buy, which has a drag. So yes, it's gonna actually protect you on the downside, but only really in a crash scenario. You know, the slow bleeds, a slow bear market or something like that, it's not gonna really do anything for you at all. It's still gonna come down. It might not go down as much as QYLD or an XYLD would, but still, you know, in order to get the benefits out of NUSI, you really got to have a pretty good substantial decrease in about 30 days. And we're talking, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50% or something like that to really see the benefits out of it. And my thinking is how often do we have a correction like that, right? I'm not even going to call that a correction. Crash. Let's call it a crash, okay? Because a correction of, you know, 10, 15, 20% over an extended period of time, say, you know, 2 or 3 months or something like that, is normal. That's normal in the markets, and NUSI is not really going to benefit much from that as well. And it might not go down as much as QYLD or XYLD or something like that, but it's still not going to really protect you to the fullest of capability of NUSI. You get the biggest, you know, bang for your buck out of NUSI when you have a 50% drop in a month, right? Which is not something that happens very often, right? February, March of 2020, we had a 37% decline in a short amount of time. It happened, whether, I don't know, a couple of weeks, a month at the most, and it was already back to pretty much, a lot of stocks were already back to where they started the decline within 60 days, and it was off to the races at that point. So my thinking is okay, let me just reduce that down a little bit. We'll put it in a DIVO, we'll put it into JEPI. And honestly, JEPI and DIVO, I would say they're not as defensive as NUSI is, but they're also a little bit more defensive than QYLD or XYLD, right? DIVO is in solid blue chip companies, and those are going to hold up pretty well. Just like I have in my dividend portfolio here, all these individual stocks that I have, sorry, I'm looking at the options stuff there. Here's the current portfolio. So all these individual stocks that I have in here are going to hold up pretty well during a recession because they're dividend paying stocks. They're not going to cut their dividend most likely. Most of these, if I'm not mistaken, or mostly these are just aristocrats and kings. And we can kind of see that there. Look at all these aristocrats I have there. And then I got some kings in there as well. And we got some other big contenders and stuff. We got 19 years there in Microsoft. So that's coming up, right? What else do we have here? 20 years on Southern. So, you know, just a few years off before they become aristocrat as well. So those are going to hold up very well in a recession. And DIVO was filled, their portfolio's got a lot of those stocks in there, and they're doing cover calls against a lot of those positions opportunistically. So the way I look at it is JEPI and DIVO are going to hold up pretty well. I haven't really talked about JEPI, but JEPI is in S&P 500 type stocks. A lot of their portfolio makes up S&P 500 stocks. They're just lower volatility than the normal S&P 500 stocks by them picking the lower volatility stocks and building out their portfolio that way. And then they sell opportunistically, sell the ETNs against the SPX as well, which is cash settled. So I think that JEPI and DIVO are a little bit more defensive than QYLD, XYLD. Not quite as defensive as NUSI. So the whole reason I wanted to be, you know, in NUSI obviously is because if the market comes down 40 or 50% or something like that, guess what? I can take capital out of NUSI and shove it into DIVO. I can shove it into SCHD. I can shove it into JEPI or something like that, right? If NUSI only's dropped 20% and the market's dropped 50%, then I can kind of pull some capital out of there, shove it in these other positions, and then ride it on the upside, right? So NUSI is not going to perform as well on the upside as well as probably JEPI or DIVO would, especially not as well as SCHD would. So I can kind of have different buckets to pull from. That's kind of like the holy grail. That's the, you know, what everybody wants to do, right? You have all these positions, and then the positions that hold up very well on a pullback, you get out of those, and then you rotate into the stuff that's pulled back the most, as long as it's solid, you know, positions, right? Don't get in junk, okay? And then you ride the upside, right? I would probably pull out most of NUSI and go into SCHD if we pulled back let's just say SCHD pulled back 30%, NUSI pulled back 15%. I would probably pull half of the NUSI out and go into SHD and then ride the upside up. And then eventually when we get back to where things are kind of toppy, kind of like they are now, then I would probably rotate out of SHD or something like that, or rotate out of some of these positions and go back in a little bit more NUSI as well, right? That's just the way I'm going to play it. I don't know if that's the correct way to play it or not. Everybody's going to play it differently, obviously. I don't even know if that's going to work because I haven't been in these positions during a crash. So, but that's kind of an idea of how I think things are going to play out. SCHD will get built out in the future, just with, you know, excess dividend income and stuff like that. But that's my plans. Obviously, DIVO is a solid position as well, and that's the reason why I increased it up to $175,000. And who knows, I might have increased it beyond that. You know, I changed my mind a lot because I don't like the way things are working or something like that. And you know, when I retire, I'm still going to do the portfolio reviews and all that and kind of talk about it, you know, and whether or not this worked or didn't work, and did it work how I thought it was going to work? Am I going to make a change or something like that? I'm kind of the guinea pig for many people that watch my channel, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. I've made a lot of changes over the last 2 years to the portfolio, obviously. And obviously I was doing cover calls against individual positions. That didn't work, so I just got in these income ETFs, provide the income. And I think this provides about $6,000 of income. Now obviously it's not all from just from these income ETFs. I got real estate notes there as well. Options income there as well, which I reduced, but excuse me. Anyways, DIVO, the way I look at it is, it's got a pretty good dividend CAGR on it as well. Or distribution CAGR, I don't know if you want it, what you want to call, but I think it's a dividend CAGR for that particular position. So the way I look at it is getting in there, yes, I will get a raise every year too on the $8,500 of income. And I think let me see if I have it in here. I think I pretty much have it in here. The last time I calculated it out anyway. Let's go down the bottom over here, let's go over to the right. And let's see the CAGR. I have the CAGR at 10%. I don't know if that's right. It might be a little bit lower than that. I'll recalculate it at the end of the year and see if I have to adjust that or not. But so every year I will get an increase, you know, a raise, if you want to call it that. So $8,500 of income, times that by 10%, so that's $850 of income that I get increased every single year just by the dividend CAGR. And guess what? You know, JEPI and NUSI don't have a dividend CAGR at all, right? So the way I look at it is you know, this will catch up eventually at some point. But if I can kind of increase the DIVO allocation a little bit higher, obviously I can get a raise every single year. XYD, QYD, NUSI, and JEPI don't have a dividend CAGR at all. My individual stocks do, which is roughly about 8% or something like that. So, and SCHD has got a pretty good darn CAGR as well. So we will be continuing to build that out as well. So that is the update on what I'm going to be doing with NUSI and JEPI and DIVO. Hopefully you saw some value in what I'm going to be doing and why I'm going to be making those changes. So if you have any comments about what I've said in this video, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.